guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to share with you how to make a delicious, perfect for summer tomato gratin. It's easy. It's so easy. It's ridiculous. But when you are in the middle of summer, especially if you are lucky enough to be from Jersey, like I am, and you can get your hands on some beautiful, local, juicy, sweet, yummy tomatoes. I don't typically like to do a whole lot with them because I just think raw are so good. But topped with a crispy crust, it's incredible. What do I have in here, you might ask? I've got several different types of tomatoes. I've got some beautiful, really ruby red grape tomatoes, and I've got about a few heirloom tomatoes. You can see a beautiful yellow one. That one's like a more variegated one. They're phenomenal. And I have them all in here, and underneath I've got a little drizzle of olive oil. Very simple. I've got my oven preheated to 400 degrees, and before we go any further with the crust, I want to pop these into the oven. So here's all you do. To your tomatoes, I like to cut them. You see how I cut them into wedges instead of like big circles? Because the circles are kind of hard to come out of here. You have to like overlap them really perfectly. I don't do that. That's just like way too much work for me. Plus it's hard to like serve. A good drizzle of olive oil on your tomatoes and a good pinch of salt. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these into the oven for 10 minutes. In the meantime, we get going on the crumb topping, which is insanely easy and so good. Just you wait. Just you wait. All right, so what do I have in here? I've got some bread. This is just a baguette. You can use any bread that you like a ciabatta or anything like that. It's preferable if it's stale. I've got a piece here from a wedge of Parmigiano Reggiano. I've got parsley, I've got fresh oregano, and I've got garlic. All of this is gonna go in a food processor. We're kind of gonna make like homemade breadcrumbs, if you will, and then we're gonna add oil to them, and they're gonna go on top of the tomatoes. If you wanna do this with mushrooms, you can. If you wanna top zucchini, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, whatever roast veg you want with this topping, it's phenomenal, but it works particularly well with tomatoes. So I'm just gonna pulse until it's to the texture that I like, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. This looks great. I'm just gonna add about 3 tablespoons of oil, good olive oil. Pulse that just until it's like well blended and well combined, and then we'll just wait for the tomatoes to come out, top, put them back in, and I'll show you. All right, my breading is done. I also wanted to mention when I added the olive oil, I also added a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. Now, my tomatoes were in there for 10 minutes. They already smell insanely good, like I can't even tell you. Just like pure summer tomatoey goodness. I don't know how else to describe it. I made a little bit more topping than I'm going to need. That's because this, like I said, it's great to keep in the fridge to go on top of fish, to go on top of veggies, like whatever your heart desires. I'm actually gonna top some chicken with it and pop that into the oven, really easy and simple. So there you go. This goes back in 20-ish minutes until like yummy golden brown crispy deliciousness, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. This went back in for 20 minutes, and if you could just smell this, you'd understand why I'm so excited about it. It's kind of, you really should let this cool a lot longer, but it's you know what it's like? It's an easier version of stuffed tomatoes. Have you ever had stuffed tomatoes? Same thing really, but a much easier version. Oh, the tomatoes are like buttery soft. The topping is crispy. This is gonna be really hot though, so I need a much smaller piece. Let this cool a whole lot more than I'm letting it cool because it's really hot and you want to serve this at room temperature. That is so good. There are literally no words for it. Doesn't look like much. It's not the most beautiful thing to serve, but along any kind of protein or just by itself with a lovely green salad on the side would be such a perfect summertime like dinner or a late lunch. It's just really wonderful, and I think you'll really enjoy all of the flavors together, especially when using the very best tomatoes you can get your hands on. Go to laurainthekitchen.com, get the written recipe. I'm telling you, make extra frosting. Make extra of the stuffing, topping, whatever you want to call it, and top whatever else you want with it because it's so good. Hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.